No communication, bottom of the deck energy. Queen of Wands wanting to pop out. Comes across as making things happen, even though they don't want to happen on their own. This is like high level facilitation. You know, taking matters into your own hand. I get around you. So the conflict is coming out of negative energy. Double card here. You may have left some negative entities behind and thus experiencing like tower moments as a result. You like turned away your emotion towards this person, and that may have caused some sort of energetic imbalance. It's almost as if like maybe you broke up with them energetically. This could even be with like friends or family. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I really do think it's like pulling the band-aid off. And you could be feeling the sting of it. But it could be that you are like for the better of it. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you had to cut ways, you had to part ways. You couldn't see being with this person or being involved. But it's coming across as though that like you have the leverage point, like you're coming out on top of this situation because you're putting down the work of it. What's this Ten of Pentacles in the reverse? Yeah, I think you are realizing that you actually have like this kind of value and this self-worth. I feel as though that your energy is coming across as the Queen of Pentacles. And you don't just want to, allow yourself to be around those that don't give you value. It's like you gotta like pay for this time. That's how valuable you're seeing yourself. Yeah, to me, this is just kind of maintenance, taking care of yourself, not overexerting yourself. This does feel like the completion of a cycle, like a big chapter. I do get a lot of like, this is going to sound crazy, but I do get a lot of, you know, real like spiritual advance, like doctorate level, like really just high level, rarefied air. But what that's going to do, it's funny because I was meditating earlier and I saw this cup, I saw this energy. And so you're pulling in truly significant, like soulmate connections at this time. Like a very kind of innocence. And obviously, there's, you know, questioning and doubting, but there's nothing to doubt here. The Empress is making her appearance known. And although your thoughts and your, what have you, makes you the negative side, you couldn't be, you know, it's funny because it's like the negativity, the mental negativity, or the worries. It's so funny because it's like when you're getting closest to your goal, to your end goal, because you got some heavy hitters here. You got the World card and the Empress here, overseeing the Six of Cups, the Eight, and the Nine. It's like when your doubt and your self doubt is peaking. It's just ironic, but you're going to come out ahead of it. The Six of Wands just came out over it, and you know, it's just interesting how life kind of poses, that great kind of threat. Yeah, I mean, what you're going through right now, a lot of it is like outside of your hands. Like, and I think that that's where the doubt is you doubt whether you're putting yourself in the right position, space and time, but you are. It's just circumstances that is cause for, you know, um, what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your self resolve and your self depth is, it's like you're going underground when there's this kind of like, earthquake. And then you're coming out at the right time. This new offer, this new opportunity in divine timing. I even got the month of May. Mhm. Yeah, it's like it's like you burrowed underground to avoid all the catastrophe above ground, meaning you went within, and that was your way of averting disaster. And I do see new work opportunities coming. If you're concerned or worried about work or employment, I do see communication picking up in the month of October to be able to work at your level. I do see new offers coming in. I'm seeing someone watching the movie Dirty Dancing. Remember that movie? Patrick Swayze. Like a mashed potato. Seen the movie Grease. Yeah, I'm seeing less like looking outside of yourself so as to preserve energy. Sometimes we get in this kind of dogged looking outside of ourself mode because we're put in that like environment and we forget the necessity of just like enjoying downtime, enjoyment mode. They say that that's the quickest way to say thank you to the creators by enjoying. I think it like this. Tell me. Yeah, I do see 10 pentacles out here. Like, hmm, chef's kiss. What? 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 It's like you're starting your own thing. You're starting your own legacy. You're starting your own cornerstone. Oh, Lord. Feels good. Yeah, you're starting your own cornerstone. That's why it's been so crazy. You're not like you're not like building. You know how some people kind of bite off of other people? You're not doing any of that. Okay? People are biting off of you. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of copycats. Someone's remember in grade school you used to look over used to look at the person next to you. You had to put the folders up. Right? We're taking a test. You gotta put your folders up. You can't be looking over the answers over there. Bunch of copycats around here. And it's funny because when you're like in your shit, when you're really working your craft and really getting lost in the work positively, it comes across as happiness. And it comes across as like very like high vibrational because you know you're like making love with like source, divine creation. It's like it's not a sexual thing, but it's an act of love when you're like creating with source. And so you're witnessing and you're recognizing in all these kind of various avenues or layers or sectors or sections of output, you could really get in a groove. You could really get like in a lather. Even when you're doing something like strenuous and arduous, like a workout, there becomes a certain level where it's like you're it's I don't want to say making love because it's not a gross sexual thing, but like it's like yeah, like you're fucking yeah. you're so like in tune with like that creative force or source that like it's love. Like you're making, yeah, I don't know how else to describe it, but it's not like a gross sexual related thing. It's higher, it's pure. It's like it's when you're really doing something. It could be running. It could be, when you're in the middle of a workout. It's when you're tapped in, when you're synced in, when you're looped in. It could be when you're, say, like you drive for a living and you're just fucking, you're making love to these streets out here because you're in the fucking flow of it. Any art at a high level, it's like you're making love. I know you know what I mean, but it's like, it's fucking, I love talking about it because it's fucking dope. Like everything becomes like fucking. And it's crazy because it's like you're feeling like your heart is full and filled. And really, truly, it's the age of Aquarius, bitch. Like, it's not enough to believe in God. You got to know God, right? And how do you know God? Knowledge, right? How do you gain knowledge? Experience. How do you experience God? Love, unconditional love, where you are hit with that wave of love. Peak, peak, peak. Your heart is filled. It's, runneth over. And it is in the human experience, it is just feeling this kind of overwhelming love. You know what I'm saying? And it's a form that you could attain. It may require abstaining from drink, sex, smoke, food, all that stuff. But when you get there, you know what it is. And that's how you know God. It's in the human form of experience, it's this wave of emotion of love or unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you talk about that, the people leave the room because they don't. It's jealousy, it's lack, it's either they don't know it or they are jealous, or you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They'll take the breadcrumb, they'll take the clue, and then they'll go run with it, and then try to Paul Revere it. But it's something that you have to kind of practice and experience. It's a state. you know. And it might have to do with like, for me, I'm noticing like what kind of triggers that for me is music, high vibrational music, something like that. Like I like to listen to like oldies, just makes me feel good. Yeah, I feel like I feel like you're gonna be kind of like in awe about what this new kind of offer is. More about this new offer, it feels like. Inner knowing about something you've been waiting for, something that you can take action on, some sort of union. Marriage. Some sort of union, formality, formal, tradition, orthodoxy. Orthodoxy could be a work offer coming through after a period of no communication. Some new start coming. It's going to alleviate you from worrying, overthinking something that you didn't see. Could have been some confusion in the past trying to coordinate this, Spirit. Causing imbalance, something slow moving. Someone might still be thinking about you, but you're focused on your self-worth and value. You're not worried about them. You're choosing new partnership and you rather go in than try to like resurrect something because you feel like you're not synchronized with that. So you rather just kind of continue on your move forward. I feel like you're taking the slower path, but it's leading to more expansion and less negative influence. More kind of chemistry based on where you're at. Yeah, a lot of like putting down the old book and like, picking up the new book. That makes sense. One second. Yeah, it feels like the next kind of relationship is going to be based off of like friendship and actually like soulmate and having something in common, not having to like wedge anything in. If that makes sense. Like based on like innocence and trust. Okay, you feel like you're not up and running like you would like to be. There is truth, victory, clarity, though. Based on faith, trust, God, all that good stuff. That's what this is: faith, trust, God. I'm gonna write that on there. The alphanumeric. So if you go A through E or A through H, uh, A through the letter I in the alphabet, and you attribute 1 through 9 to each letter. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and you do that to 9. That's called an alphanumeric. And then you double up after I. Start with J. J is 10. 10 in alphanumeric is 1 plus O, 1 plus 0. So J becomes 1 again. Um, and so, point being is if you keep doing that throughout the alphabet, each letter is designated a number. So if you write the word trust, 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 then that comes to the number 8, which is the infinity sign. All those numbers add to 8, which is the infinity sign. If you write the word faith, that comes to 8, which is an infinity sign. If you write the word God, that comes to 8, which is an infinity sign. So I wrote trust, faith in God because, and this is something that I just realized recently. The strength card has the infinity sign, and it also has the 8, and the 8 is the infinity sign turned vertically. I feel like I never really kind of put 2 and 2 together until more recent modern times. So So, so there may be confusion as to like, hey, what's the holdup? I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. There's truth and clarity and victory that you need to have. It feels more so like on the cerebral front. It seems before you could go. And also, this is protecting you. So make it a point. Don't like take it as like, it's almost as if you could possibly take it bad, but this is actually for your higher like protection. This makes sense. Being like sidelined. Feels like you know the work that you've put in, and so you know kind of like what you deserve or what's due you. And you're right. You're right on par with that. I'm not getting like a settling feeling or anything like that. It's like you've come too far and you've worked too hard to just kind of settle for anything less than like high, 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 what's highest of highs for you. Like the one. Empress, Sun card, Page of Cups, Hierophant. That's like union to someone that's like specially held for you, but that you've manifested to the Magician's card. But I think this time period also is like being taken to us to figure out, see, feel, open yourself up to your own self worth. But I'm also feeling like this is saying like, don't worry about like any instances of instability. You're still doing the right thing. You're on the right track. Use the time to rest and recharge when you can. Okay, don't specifically concern yourself over that which you can't kind of actively have a hand at. Use this space and downtime to your advantage. You know, there will be a time to kind of get back out there. You know? So, like, even the inaction or the setbacks are divinely orchestrated. What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, it feels like this kind of process or this journey is actually paying off. You know, falling out, friendship, whatever, disaster averted, clearing a space, as always, feeling like you're shit end of the stick, you know, financially, whatever, getting past it emotionally, processing, moving forward, beeline direct to new action without, I guess, friends or anyone by your side, and then the nine of pentacles in the upright. So it seems like you come out of it and you do it, you know, by the beat of your own drum, somehow, some way still. And when I see this King of Pentacles in the reverse, I don't see it as like it could be negative characters that you're cutting out, but I just see that like you're not doing bad on your own financially. Like you still could kind of get a footing, get a grip. Taking a high road, realizing your own value. And in fact, cutting others out kind of in a way like increases your value because it coincides with your narrative, you know, knowing that you have to leave all the bullshit behind. This enthusiasm about like going and finding your own worth to kind of continue to like propagate this carving your own cornerstone, reaching new heights of, you know, what you could achieve, what you could act upon, incoming communication, still outsourcing any financial woes or unknowns to faith, God, trust, all that stuff. Empress giving birth to new opportunity, something that you're not seeing. Something that you would consider your form of victory, moving on emotionally. So if there is, in fact, this new kind of emotional person, this could symbolize you moving on emotionally and getting over the past, and really truly kind of that's a victory in and of itself. You know, some sort of union with someone else. Going about it the right way. You might seem like distant or removed, but it's just because you're kind of doing your work and you're kind of making that more and more about your world, I would say. It's almost as if you're being encouraged to connect more so with like what work you can do before you. Whatever it is that, can have you kind of like get involved in whatever. Causing this like positive alchemical something. And I think you're like identifying more and more ways in which you can do something in any direction. As long as it's like constructive and positive. I would not be surprised if like when you start like moving on is when someone would want to kind of come back. It's so crazy. It's almost as if like when you move on, yeah, I feel like you took this kind of long, kind of like longer route to get over a past heartbreak. And when you are kind of finally getting on, is when this other person would want to come back. It feels like. Like almost as if they could like sense your energy. They could like sense another kind of romantic. It could have been that they felt that you were in like this kind of like kennel or this holding pattern, and like, but really truly you were doing your own kind of revelatory revelation, figuring, realizing things out. If that makes sense. Like maybe someone felt like they had you in a place that they could keep an eye on you, but you kind of turned it to your advantage, to your favor. If that makes sense. Like let them think that like they have me like in a kennel or trapped or whatever, but I'm actually doing this is the exact kind of piece that I need to do the work that I wanted to do. You know. So yeah.